Okay, so I'm Kevin Anstruther on a Tuesday afternoon on October 11th at 3:25. I'm here with Ben Blaine, and today we're going to talk about his past experiences playing the sport of soccer. So, welcome, Ben.
Thank you.
So, we're just going to start off with a couple of questions here for you. So, why do you play soccer, Ben?
Uh, Currently, I enjoy the sport of soccer. This is probably based on past experiences. Originally, I started playing soccer probably because my father played it and they enrolled me into youth soccer.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed me to play multiple sports, but soccer is the one that I excelled at. Maybe that's just because I was being kept on placed into it,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it not only for the game itself, but for the social aspect and for keeping in shape. There's many aspects of why I enjoy playing soccer.
So you mentioned that you played other sports as well too, other than soccer. What other sports have you played in the past?
Ooh. For organized leagues, I believe I was enrolled in t-ball or baseball originally. I forget which one it was, but I hated it. I found it really boring that I'd sit on the bench for exactly half the game, and then I'd go up to bat, and I'd strike out, and I'd go back and sit on the bench, or go out into the field, and probably get hit no balls because I really sucked, so they'd put me out like way in left field or something. So I think I only did that for 1 or 2 seasons, and then quit. I don't know if you call gymnastics a sport, but I did that for a couple years until there's levels in gymnastics, and I failed one, and I don't like failing, so I quit.
Uh,
Yeah, but I did that for around 4 years, and I think that really helped with coordination and strength.
mm-hmm.
I played a lot of other sports, but they weren't organized. So I played like football, flag football, and touch football. But soccer was the main one that I continued with throughout the years.
It just sort of stuck with you basically over all the other sports.
Yeah. I guess just because probably my father kept on enrolling me in it,
Yeah.
and then I got better. So I'm not sure. I always think of Malcolm Gladwell's. Well, it's not his rule. He stole it, but that's another story. The 10,000-hour rule. I hate Gladwell.
Yeah.
But got the 10,000-hour rule, which is saying to be a professional, you have to practice 10,000 hours. No, 10,000 hours of dedicated practice, not just screwing around. But so I don't know if I have 10,000, probably not, but a lot of compared to other sports, I have a lot more hours dedicated to practice. So.
Okay. So now you mentioned you've this Malcolm Gladwell rule, like 10,000 hours. How long would you say that you played soccer? Do you think you may have even come close to 10,000 hours, or no?
Well, to be quite honest, I've never calculated it, and I'd like to reiterate it's not Malcolm Gladwell's rule,
Well,
but he
yeah.
stole. We'll go with it, and no harm, no foul. But I'd say 15 games a year from the age 6 till 12. So I believe at that point they were only an hour games instead of the regular 90 minutes. And then usually an hour of practice a week. So I don't know what that adds up to. And then from the ages of 12 to 16, I had to play both house league and competitive in order to play soccer in the league I was playing. You had to play house league as well to fill in their house league teams.
Gotcha.
So it would be our select or competitive team would be separated onto all the house league teams, and then we'd be given an equal share of playing time with all the other players, and it was kind of a joke because in the end it was, all right, go select players, score some goals, and make sure to pass it to the other players as well.
Oh, okay.
But that's all right. It was fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'd say I was up in 5,000-6,000 hours at least, if not more. Because once I went into 17 to 18, I was driving to Ottawa twice a week, which is an hour and a half drive, to practice for an hour each time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I was driving to games within the Ottawa region and practices within. So I was driving to Ottawa at least 4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
So an hour and a half each time, an hour and a half back just to play soccer for an hour usually, or an hour and a half both times. So a lot of hours, but
Yeah.
a lot of travel time as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's see. So maybe we can elaborate some more on your actual soccer time on the field. What position or positions have you played, and what was like your primary position or your favorite position?
Originally, when I started playing soccer, I don't know if this is because I was the December baby playing the next year or what, but I sucked. Like, I was really, really bad. So they put me in a position that didn't matter as much. So like originally it would be like an outside wing on the left, or on the right side, I guess, because the good players on the other team were usually right-footed, so they'd be on the right side, the opposite. So, but as I got better and started playing competitively, I could run. I wasn't big. I'm 5'6", so I'd play midfield, and then I'd usually play outside wing. We used the Italian formation of most of the teams I played on as 4-4-2. So 4 defense, 4 midfield, and 2 forwards, where the wingers go up the sides. So it's a defense-minded, but the outside wingers have to run like crazy. And usually the back 4 is a diamond, so that everything kind of molds together in the end. It's complicated, but that's why they put me on the outsides, because I could run. And then as I got even better, I became the inside midfielders. And then as I got recruited to better and better teams, they put me as center mid, usually as a paired unit, 2 center mids, or by myself as center mid. So I moved from kind of the worst position to one of the most important positions on the field. So
you had a pretty logical progression forward as you practiced more. You could almost say.
Yeah, definitely. Because I never had a super hard kick, and I could never really. I wasn't a striker, and I don't have the speed, but I could continuously run for 90 minutes, and my passing was my forte, as you might say. I could pass very well, so that's why the center mid as a distributor was a good position for me.
Now, you mentioned that you got recruited to better and better clubs as you played. How did that work for you? How did that process work, and where did this sort of lead you in terms of playing? For example, like you said, you played around the Ottawa area, so maybe kind of elaborate like where you got to play with those teams as well. So
originally, since I lived in Beachburg, which is a town of 800, there was 2 places I could play. One being in Pembroke, which is around 20 minutes away, and one in Opeongo, being around half an hour away. Since most of my friends ended up playing for Opeongo, no, that's not true. The first year I played in Pembroke, but since most of my friends were in Opeongo, my parents took me to Opeongo the next year so I could be more social with my friends from school, primary school. And then, so I stayed in Opeongo for around 3 or 4 years, but they didn't have a well-developed program. There was a select traveling team, but that's about it. You only got to play a couple of games a season with this traveling team. And then I went to Pembroke after I kind of cut ties with my friends and would rather play competitive soccer, good soccer, than the poor soccer we were playing there. So we went to Pembroke, and then there the first year I didn't play competitive, but the second year I tried out for I guess my dad just enrolled me in it. He probably asked me if I wanted to, but I don't remember. And then I tried out for competitive